Hey, what's up guys? Metal571 here, and this is the Oppo PM3. What is this headphone for? This is actually more of a portable, planar magnetic closed back headphone. And it's a very interesting idea because you don't see, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there are any other portable planar magnetic headphones that I even am aware of, which is quite a difference between it and many other portable headphones. And it lends itself to an interesting sound signature, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But first, as usual, the build quality. One word, immaculate. This is incredibly well built. This is probably the best built headphone I have ever tested and reviewed, except for maybe, I don't know, the HD800, but even that's prone to scratching. So it's quite up there. You get this gorgeous, just incredibly strong build with great black accents for the silver. Just really, really nice. The pads are made very, very well. I really don't have anything negative to say about it. The cable is also removable, which is nice, and so you have your option of, actually, this is really good because this is a 3.5mm to 3.5mm cable they give you. This is a loaner I got from one of my subscribers / commenters, so I'm not actually sure what came in the original box, but I will say that it looks like you can probably use anything you want as long as it's small enough to fit in here and is 3.5mm stereo, which is really cool. So you see a lot of proprietary connectors. For example, even on the SRH 440 I'm wearing, you have to twist this guy before you can pull it out, and it kind of locks. Not really, you just push it in like this. This guy is much better design. My buddy Zeos would be complaining all day about these stupid locking cables, and insert a couple of profanities in there, and yeah, they suck compared to this. So this is good stuff. Nice job, Oppo. Comfort's good. I thought comfort didn't really give me an issue at all. You got these nice big ear cups. They're properly, I never understood the circular ear cups that some brands use. I really like the oval or the square ones. These are large enough, unlike an M50, to fit most people's ears. I don't think you're gonna have an issue there. Even if your ears were to touch, I can feel there's actually a foam insert in here that's circular, which would prevent your ear from touching the driver directly. Really nice touch there as well. And actually, this is the first time I noticed that. I not only noticed it on video while I'm reviewing these. Just really, really good comfort. Isolation does not quite compare to monitoring headphones like these that I'm wearing here, the 440, or some other monitoring pro headphones, but it's good enough for most people's mobile use, and these really don't leak much sound at all either, so quite good for the office and on the go. They're also easy to drive, very easy to drive, perhaps not as easy as some pro headphones again, but plenty. You could definitely perform pretty well directly from your phone with these guys, I'm sure. If you always need more, you can always get another a portable amp if you want. But they'll run fine to decent volumes off of, I think, most phones. Alright, now the part that everyone really cares about, which is the sound quality. Bass, the first thing I always talk about. Awesome. It's nearly perfect, actually, on these in terms of a neutral studio sound. Nearly perfect. I don't say perfect because I noticed, and this is really nitpicking, in my opinion, I think they have just maybe 1 dB too much around the 150 to 200 hertz region, maybe. That's it. And that's really nitpicking, and that's compared to kind of what I'm used to hearing from my test tracks, other headphones such as the HD600. But wow, the bass extension is like bottomless, and there's almost zero color to it. It goes really deep. It's never overpowering, but it's very, very accurate. Really, really good. It's something planar magnetics are known to do, but these do it exceptionally well also. Mid-range, Also extremely uncolored, but it has a bit of a flavor to it that you don't find in some headphones, and I believe Tyler's mentioned this before from Inner Fidelity, that these have a really nice slowly rising low mid going into the upper mid peak that you should find on an uncompensated response, and it gives it a lot of nice body to vocals, and they have more of a warmth to them through the low mids to the mid mids, somewhere in the region of, say, 500 to 1.5 kilohertz is a really nice smooth mid-range, and very, very uncolored, very flat. That's very flat and neutral. People hate those terms, but these really don't sound any different than what I would expect to hear from a pair of monitor speakers in the mid-range. They're very accurate. Nothing is really forward or too far back. Pretty much everything I listened to on these sounded just like I would expect it to sound in a really good studio in the lows and the mids. Now the treble is where is the only part that I feel is slightly lacking in these. Again, the treble doesn't appear to have any peaks. However, I feel that it rolls off too much above 10 kilohertz. And that is the only thing that really makes me wonder why they're asking $399 for these. I mean, you've got the amazing build quality and really, really good bass and mids, but the treble is definitely, I don't know, it just sounds kind of dull to me. And I had the same kind of complaint with the, I had a PMX2, which was a modified PM2, and it also had kind of a dull, very, very high top end. And it's definitely in contrast. Like the HG600 has more resolution and seemingly more energy up there above 10K than even these do. And that's sometimes called dark by some people, just to give you an idea. So it sounds very realistic, this headphone, but I still feel that the treble air is missing way up top. It's not completely absent, it's just really toned down to the point where it's a little disappointing. In my opinion, personally, I think that really good treble extension is an absolute must for any headphone that's costing this much. But unfortunately, these don't have the extension, but they definitely have the uncoloredness. It just sounds a little dull to me. But otherwise, amazing frequency response, and I have no issues with any ringing. Turning them way up doesn't really reveal any obvious peaks at all, which is very, very impressive, and something I would expect from a headphone costing this much, if not even more. So soundstage wise, that's also really disappointing for me. Now these are not as narrow as an M50, but they're not even as wide as some other closed backs I've heard, like the DT770. They don't quite get to that level of soundstage. They do have I feel like I can hear different tracks in like electronic music quite well with these, but I don't really get a lot of width to the imaging, and it's not spectacular, but it's not completely in your head either. So at least there's that. So that's another downside, I think. The soundstage is one of the, actually kind of a con for this guy, considering the price. But overall, not bad, but the really key point here is this is a portable, or at least it's mainly designed as a portable. And as a portable, I think it does a really, really, really good job, better than many other headphones. And you can always increase the treble air a bit with an EQ and get some more out of it if you're like me, or you may just not care at all and absolutely love the way they sound, like a lot of people will. Bob Katz, amazing mastering engineer, gave these extremely high marks, and yeah, I'd agree with a lot of what he said about these. They're very, very accurate. And just keep in mind, I'm also testing on a solid state Magni 2 and a Modi 1 here. They may sound slightly different from some other sources. They may improve further from what I've reviewed here. Something that I should mention. But yeah, that's it. I think they're a nice hit. I mean, for $400, for $399, these are really up there in the price range, but the good things are that you got really, really good build quality that's going to withstand the test of time, I think. Just amazingly, just super solid. Like, everything feels incredibly well built here. and the sound quality is very, very good. It'll pretty much handle any genre you possibly want. These are definitely a do-everything headphone, and that's kind of why I think they're very close to neutral. Probably one of the most uncolored headphones I've heard as well, except for the slightly dull air in the treble. Soundstage, though, is kind of a drawback, especially for a headphone costing this much. But I tend to say that portability increases the price of the headphone. So getting a headphone with this sound quality, but is also portable, can justify some of the price. But if I had to price these, I'd put them maybe $299, not $399. I think that's a slightly overpriced there. And that's what I think of the Oppo PM3. Stay tuned as always. Leave me a comment down below. Check out my small EQ profile that I'm going to put in every description from now on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.